Purple Daily is daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
I will ride with this group.
Seriously, man. Please.
And away we go.
And here we are again. There we go. In the right order now. Because we have major breaking news from, well, Adam Schefter was the first. Pelissero, maybe. Pelissero might have had it first. I'm not totally sure.
Rap Sheet, I know it's a stressful
Rap Sheet
day
get
for
in there?
you. But I've been watching Rap Sheet all day when we have been recording. Just lighten up a little bit. This is a fun day. He's on edge. I get it. It's stressful. I'm sure his phone's blowing up and he's obligated to be on television. But Rap Sheet,
this is your dream job. It's your dream job. You know, you're living the dream, reporting NFL news.
Stress, man, stress.
I
think he's the lead. I think he's the lead guy there. So I think that puts the stress on the Rap Sheet.
Yeah, well, maybe he should just take a deep breath. The Vikings, according to all of the reports, have agreed to terms on a new starting center contract. Well, we presume with Ryan Kelly. 2 years, $18 million, $9 million guaranteed. This is, for those unfamiliar, so Ryan Kelly's been the longtime starting center for the Indianapolis Colts. He was a first-round pick back in 2016. He has played almost 8,000 snaps over the course of 9 years as the Colts starting center. And Ryan Kelly turns 32 years old in May, so he's a little older than Bradbury, actually. 4-time Pro Bowler. He was the 12th ranked center out of 43 centers, according to PFF last year. So he was 12th. Bradbury was 29th. He was the 6th ranked pass protecting center. Bradbury was 39th last year. And in 2023, so Ryan Kelly did have some knee stuff last year that knocked him out, put him on IR for a few weeks. He came back to finish the season last month. So that is something to keep an eye on. But in 2023, he was the 8th overall graded center in the NFL and first in pass protection. He is a very highly regarded pass protecting center and also does a great job in run blocking too. And he has never played an NFL snap at guard or tackle. He is 100% a first-round drafted pureblood center. So this either means, I think, Bradbury is moving to guard, or maybe more likely, they're going to cut Bradbury and save the $3.5 million to the cap. Or could you trade Bradbury for like a 6th-round pick or something, a day 3 pick? I don't know. But Ryan Kelly, on a day where guards and tackles are getting $15, $18, $20 million, the Vikings zig where other teams are zagging, and they get a new starting center for $9 million a year on a 2-year deal. Your thoughts?
I wonder if this means that the Will Freeze, and he's not signed yet. I wonder if his market is so high, though, that they're out there and that they pivoted because of that. Like, this to me indicates that. Now we did get a bunch of questions as the dogs go nuts. Just a second.
That's
it's not me. No, it's not me. I have 2 dogs in the house today too, but that's not me.
2 dogs. That's that. Well,
so
the neighbors
5
going
dogs
crazy with dogs.
3 dudes right
the
now.
neighbors go. They're all walking around because it's nice out, and so the dog sees the dog, and so they get all upset. But anyway, the pivot is one thing, but we did get a bunch of questions this morning on Bradbury saying, "Why are you guys defending Garrett Bradbury?" Because I think our assumption was they'll probably look to replace 1 or 2 guards first. I'm fine with this move. Just to be very clear, I wasn't defending. I was, at least speaking for myself, I was simply guessing.
Well, you were wrong.
And yes, I was wrong. And the Will Freeze market and the Will Freeze steam, if you will, was out there first. And so I was guessing that they were going to try to be content with Bradbury. But we have been clamoring for interior offensive line help for months now. So I am absolutely fine. Kelly, 6'4", 307 pounds. Bradbury, 6'3", 300, which probably means he's not that. He's probably 2 something. And Kelly is probably 310. But if this helps solidify things, if this helps shore things up, and quite frankly, you know what? I don't mind. I don't mind J.J. McCarthy from day one, if they have picked a guy that they want to be his center, working with that guy. I think that's great. I think it's fantastic. Would I still like to see a guard brought in? Absolutely. But if this was the pivot off of, at the end of the day, Will Freeze was going to cost too much, and I'll be curious to see who pays him and how much. But all of that being said, my initial thought is that this is a move in the right direction, provided that Kelly passed the physical with flying colors based off the fact that he did have a knee injury that kept him out for part of last season.
Yeah, or he signs a waiver and just everyone just says whatever, you want to keep playing, that's fine. But yeah, also worth noting, Ryan Grigson was the Colts general manager who drafted Ryan Kelly back 9 years ago.
True. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And Grigson, takes a lot of flack for a lot of things that went haywire in Indianapolis, but Ryan Kelly was presumably one of the better draft picks that he identified. And just to give you even more of the side-by-side of Ryan Kelly, Garrett Bradbury, last year, now Bradbury's played more. Let's go the last 2 years here. Bradbury has played, he's been durable. Now, he's had some back stuff a little bit here and there, but, like last year, Garrett Bradbury played almost 1,200 snaps, a career high for him. And so he's played almost 2,000 snaps the last 2 years. Let's see here, 1,500 snaps for Ryan Kelly, so keep that in mind. But Ryan Kelly has only allowed 18 pressures and 2 sacks the last 2 years combined. 18 pressures and 2 sacks. Bradbury has allowed 7 sacks and 60 pressures. So in terms of pass protection, it is not close. You go from one of the worst pass protecting starting centers in the NFL to one of the best pass protecting centers in the NFL. And J.J. McCarthy, obviously Ryan Kelly's not going to be his starting center throughout his career, but this gives him a better chance to get out of the gate as a young quarterback, taking snaps for the first time, and a guy that can help him ID things at the line of scrimmage, make the right calls, the right slides, protections. Mm-hmm. So that is, and then like as run blockers, just from a PFF grade standpoint, PFF never hated Bradbury as a run blocker. Like he had a 70.5 run blocking grade last year. Ryan Kelly was 64. The year before that, Ryan Kelly was a 75. Bradbury was a 65. So maybe they're comparable as run blockers, but this is a massive, massive upgrade in pass protection in the center of the offensive line that needs it the most.
And don't forget, too, earlier today, among their many additions, the Chicago Bears added Grady Jarrett, who's not the player that he was, but he's still pretty damn good. And that's a guy who I believe, if you look up the stats, has given Bradbury a ton of trouble. And now you're going to have to play him twice per year. So like there was a lot of compelling reasons to want to keep interior defensive linemen out of McCarthy's lap. And this is one where, does Bradbury get traded now? Like you said, I don't think so. Released probably. But at the end of the day, I think you definitely have to consider this an upgrade. And my guess is you are going to see a guard of some sort probably brought in here. I am, at this point in time, just again, totally recklessly speculating and guessing.
Reckless speculation.
I mean, is Brandel back at the left guard and then they sign a veteran to play where Reisner did at the right guard? Something like that.
Yeah.
But I would take it that this is, in their minds, their splash move. And it definitely is based on that there had to be some amount of sticker shock on what guys got today, which is not surprising. Day one of this, free agency agreement period is always like this gong show of, oh my God, look at the prices.
I wonder I'm always curious, just I'd love to be in the war room, and I love like videos on this. So when free agency opened today, like where was Ryan Kelly on their big board of targets? Like, was it one of the first things they really wanted to attack? Was this down the list and then they saw things and then like the timing again? Was it around 4 or 5 o'clock in the last hour and a half this started getting worked on? Like, I'd love to know that type of stuff. I'm trying to figure out too, like who needs centers. I just literally Googled teams with biggest center needs. So that's
how we
always
do
a
it.
good way to start.
That's right.
That's
Who
how we do
needs
it.
a center?
That's our big board.
Executive producer of Purple Daily.
Maybe Dex can look that up for us. Nice.
Yeah, I'll look up who needs a center. And it does. So the Panthers brought back Austin Corbett a couple days ago. He was their guard. They put him at center. He missed time last year. Carolina had actually a pretty decent season, or Bryce Young had a better season last year. They bring back Andy Dalton. I wonder if Carolina, I think that might be someone to maybe pencil in here as, can you get like a late day 3 pick for Garrett Bradbury? I'd at least entertain it.
Yeah. If you could, I think at this point, saving the $3.5 million in a cut would be valuable, but getting a 6th round pick, if you could do both those things, you're not going to get like a day 2 pick at this point.
Oh God, no.
Sorry, I mean, hell, Deebo Samuel was like a 4th or 5th round.
My guess is he's gone, but that's fine.
Do you think they cut him before Wednesday, just to give him a chance to go sign somewhere else and to free up some space?
Oh yeah, very possibly. Yeah, if he has, like, there is no hope here, and I don't think that there is now. And once you sign Kelly, nor should there be. He's been pretty good. Like, I think they like him, so I would just say sayonara. Thank you very much. And don't ever use a 1st round need pick again. Although Kelly was a 1st round pick himself. Don't ever be in desperate need and take a center. He's not even the best center from his draft class.
No.
I mean, that's the incredible thing. Like, if you look at, forget the actual players' names. If you look at positional value, like the Bradbury pick is such a cautionary tale of do not panic and take. Now in 2025, defensive tackle, there's a lot of guys there, but I mean, that is a 1st round slot, right? I would say this. I would say cornerbacks, defensive tackles, offensive tackles for sure. There's certain positions that I think, can say, we need a guy there, and this guy is a 1st round talent. Center, you can find them. You just need good scouts.
You guys want to take a look at the spreadsheet of glory here? Just kind of see where we're at.
Yeah.
Here, all right. So this is again, we are not expert capologists. We
look like
put some math into a spreadsheet here, and the loyal listener, is it Shauna, right? She sent this over with
Shauna,
all the bells and whistles.
Thank you.
So that when you type in a salary, it like highlights a player green. And also it gives you a summary of what the roster looks like. So as you'll see here, I might need to recode this and have a second center there next to Bradbury, because that's what the Vikings have right now. They don't have a right guard of note right now. They have a left guard in Blake Brandel. But the main thing to note here is, and we're estimating a couple of these cap hits. So like Aaron Jones, we know is a $4.8 million cap hit. We know Ryan Wright, 1.75 on a 1-year deal. We're estimating we know the Theo Jackson contract. We're estimating the $5 million cap hit for this year. And then Isaiah Rodgers, the cornerback they signed from Philadelphia, bit of an estimation on the $6 million down there. So I think we're pretty close on those, which means when you plug in Ryan Kelly, and it's a 2-year, nice, PFF nailed this, by the way, 2 years, $18 million, and that's exactly what he signed for.
Damn.
And usually the first year cap hit's a little lower, so we'll call it $7.5 million ish. So if we're close on these estimated cap hits, it means the Vikings still have just under $34 million in cap space. We've already included the $4 million 24th overall pick slot, and this doesn't include any sort of like restructuring of. So it doesn't include cutting Garrett Bradbury or restructuring Brian O'Neill. So there's at least $10 to $15 million in found cap space if you want it. So call it $34 million up to maybe like $45 million to go get a cornerback to bring back Byron Murphy Jr. A lot of people saying, hey, let's order fries with that Ryan Kelly, because those guys played right next to each other in Indianapolis.
Don't start now. Although that would be, if you could end the day with fries and Kelly, you'd be pretty happy.
Fries and a shake? Oh, fries and Kelly.
I think fries and Kelly and fries, I think you'd be pretty satisfied.
But I'm not like,
but I'm not sure it happens.
I'm not like sold on. We're getting guard beer goggles here a little bit. Will Fries is just like the name on the board that we're all staring at, and
yeah,
and
he's
we're
the top one left, right?
Yeah, but if it means paying him, Aaron Brooks, for instance, or Aaron Banks. I'm sorry, Aaron Brooks was the old Saints quarterback. Yeah. Aaron Banks, who's not a high end starting guard.
Yep.
Just raked in like $18 million a year or something absurd from the Packers, right? I don't think you need to do that with a Will Fries. Like, I would personally rather just get another veteran, go get Zeitler or Scherf on a 1-year deal, and continue to look for long-term solutions as opposed to tying up a ridiculous amount of money into a non-elite guard. Now that you have Ryan Kelly too, like you're solving this thing.
I think
Ryan Kelly doesn't solve it long-term, but he solves it for the next 2 years.
I think the Kelly move, in my opinion, I think it probably indicates they're out on Fries, and they'll probably try to go veteran guard. Brandel might be back starting at left guard, because to go back to, when you look at Blake Brandel, he dropped off the cliff when Darisaw got hurt. Okay. So Darisaw is, the last I saw, going to be back for training camp and certainly for week 1. If that's the case, they might just try to roll with Darisaw, Brandel, Kelly, veteran right guard, O'Neal. I could see that. I think we're going to get word before the night is done, if all goes well, that Jonathan Allen, currently, I believe, at TCO, probably enjoying a nice gourmet meal across the street at the Vikings Lake Hotels, the Omni Hotel, the Vikings. Yeah.
Is there a restaurant in there?
Yeah, it's a great restaurant.
It's a real nice restaurant. I bet he's there.
What's it called? Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart.
Applebee's.
It's just, yeah.
Chili's.
Yep. It's a great restaurant, and my guess is that because he's here, so I'm guessing he signs.
So we're not taking these guys downtown to Manny's Steakhouse anymore.
No,
we're
are
being
you kidding?
efficient.
Everything's in Egan now. Everything's done there.
Kindred Hearth. Kindred Hearth is the restaurant. It's a really good restaurant.
Kindred Hearth. I'm going to look at the menu. I want to know what
really
these
good.
guys are eating tonight.
I was there on day 2 of the draft looking for Vikings prospects. I didn't see anyone.
Oh, Kindred with a Y. Okay, that's
Yep.
Oh, that's precious.
Yep.
That's very
Kindred
creative.
Hearth here. Okay, looks
the
like
scallops.
some-
We had the scallops that were really good.
Dude, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of a wide open floor plan there. Do they have a private room if you're bringing in a high profile?
Oh, there's a back room.
Tackle or something.
A private room.
Oh yeah, they're not out at the bar like front and center. They are in a back room, and my guess is that they can make the lights there a nice hue of purple. So
Yeah,
they're
'cause
probably
you
in a
got-
back room where it's a purple like lit room.
Yeah, the Mackeys actually bought some a smart light bulb for one of our.
Oh, yeah.
Those are nice.
Where you can on a game day you can just turn it purple and gold if you want
Yeah.
to.
But
Ooh,
the day-
braised beef ravioli. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the days of going to downtown, done. I think they're all now out there because they took when I staked out LaDainian Tomlinson one time, they took him to Manny's. I want to say, but Kirk went to Capitol Grill. Is that right?
Yeah, he was at Capitol Grill.
I was very surprised. Capitol Grill, great, but I was very surprised by that.
Kirk would have rather been at like an Olive Garden or a Red Lobster, but he gritted it out at the Capitol.
And LaDainian, then they wined and dined him. He left town and signed with the Jets.
When I
So when you-
staked out, that's awesome.
When you would back in your old beat writer days, when you would you literally would just wait like in the lobby of the restaurant, or how would that?
I went to the
usually
bar
work?
and drank beer, and they all have back rooms. So you can't go in. There are back rooms. Manny's had one, and so I waited for. I actually went to the bar, talked to the bartender, drank some beers, confirmed that they were back there because they used to go to Manny's. I don't know they went to Murray's, but there were a couple of choices, but what they would do back then was they would put them up. The best guys would be put up at the Hilton downtown, and so then they'd go to Manny's. So I waited there, and then Spielman came out and Tomlinson. Spielman actually talked, which was great back then. And Tomlinson was great. He was a great quote. Good guy.
When you would belly up to the bar and ask the bartender for information, would you identify yourself as a reporter, or would you just be like, enjoying
I'd say-
your Wednesday night, and you just be BSing with the bartender?
Oh no. I'd say that I'm
Hi,
back then.
I'm lead
with the
beat
Star
writer for
Tribune.
the Star
the lead
Tribune.
beat- good nice to meet you. I need a scoop here. No, I'd go up there and I'd say like, hey, I'm Judd from the Star Tribune. I'm just curious if the Vikings have a contingent here. And the guy's like, yeah, they're right in the back. And I'm like, because there were only at that time there was if they had a level guy, there were like 2 or 3 places. Now, if you were not the top of the top, they would take you out in Eden Prairie. And there's some nice establishments out there. Don't get me wrong. Don't be
That's
offended.
kind of disrespectful, though. If you found out that, well, wait a second, TJ Hushmanzada got to go over to, Manny Steakhouse, and you're taking me over here to Outback. All due respect to the Bloomin' Onion.
What's that? What was the nice? It might still be there. There was a nice restaurant in Eden Prairie Center. It was a pretty classy joint, and there was actually a Vikings room there in the back, full time Vikings room. And so, like, the B guys would be taken there. And I think they had the B guys stay around Winter Park. And I've told you guys, the story was, at least in Mike Tice's day, that they would actually pick up the prospective free agent in a limo, take him out, wine and dine him, get him a little bit drunk, and then take him to Winter Park.
Yeah.
Because it was such a dump, they didn't want anyone to see it sober.
You want to see a rat run by in the hallway?
Yeah. Here's your locker room. Here's your locker room. I mean, my God.
We'll just speed through this hallway here. That's the trainer's room, kind of.
Yeah.
It doubles as a bathroom. Don't worry about it. It's fine. So, we should remind the audience, by the way, that earlier today, tickets to the 4th annual Purple Daily Draft Party went on sale, presented by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. And as of last check here, there are still VIP tickets available. But man, you guys have swooped up hundreds of these tickets already on the first day. So we want to, if you're on the fence, jump in soon just to assure that you get one of these tickets. General admission tickets for $10, VIP tickets $125, and that includes premium balcony seating, 2 drink vouchers, a food voucher, Purple Daily snapback hat, a meet and greet with the show. ScoreNorth.com/draft. ScoreNorth.com/draft to get your tickets. We're back at the Fillmore in Minneapolis Thursday, April 24th at 7 p.m. You can meet the sports dad in person and ask him about.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, for those of you who were fretting anxiously all day, why aren't the Vikings spending money? The sports dad has an idea for you.
That was a great skit.
Couple of beers.
It was pretty funny.
That's a top 5 SNL skit of all.
It was a little too long, but it was fantastic.
It's good. It's pretty good.
It was really good.
Just a couple of beers. So this is our 3rd episode here today. So I think we've covered everything that's happened so far. New starting center. We'll see what happens with Bradbury. I have seen some speculation, like, is there a chance they could move one of these dudes to guard? Well, put it this way: Ryan Kelly, who is an absolute alpha boss starting center for almost a decade in the NFL, has played 7,882 snaps in the NFL, all of them at center. But Garrett Bradbury, 6,009 snaps in the NFL, all of them at center.
Yeah,
they're both centers. So
yes, they're trying to get bigger, which I really respect. But I don't think it would be a solution now to take Garrett and stick him at right guard.
No, and he's at this point.
No, he's not.
I'm sure they gave him a heads up, but it's like he's going to want to go somewhere. If he's got a couple, 2-3 years left in his career, he's going to want to go somewhere else too. So I'm sure they'll shop him, but they have no leverage now because they just agreed to terms with Ryan Kelly.
The knee problem on Kelly does make the fate of your guy Juergens more intriguing. Who they might like.
Oh, like as a fill-in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like as the backup.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll find out because if Bradbury's gone, as of right now, Juergens would be, I'm assuming, the emergency
I think so.
Backup center, right?
Yeah, I think you're exactly right.
They could draft someone too to jump in there.
That's true.
So I think just on-air production meeting here, if Jonathan Allen, there's a chance that they could like go to dinner and come up with some sort of agreement. Or oftentimes what'll happen is they'll have a good time, they'll do dinner, do a visit. Apparently, according to Alec Lewis, he was scheduled to get in for the visit like late afternoon, maybe 4 or 5 o'clock. So tour the facility, go get dinner. And then in the morning or sometime late at night, the agent would start to hammer out a deal. So that might be more of a tomorrow thing if that happens.
Sure.
But that's the most like imminent thing at this point, unless Kwesi comes out of left field again, which he has been known to do in free agency the last couple of years.
By the way, we have not mentioned the story of the day, the signing of one safety, Bubba Bolden, which might be the greatest Viking, one of the greatest Vikings names of all time. Bubba
Bolden, a 25-year-old safety undrafted. He's practice squad off-season guy with Cleveland and Seattle. And then was he XFL or UFL or one of the two?
UFL,
Both?
I think, last year.
UFL?
Right? Yeah.
Just grinding it out. It's funny, in this like barrage of big money all over the place.
I know.
It's like, yeah, the Vikings, they grabbed this guy, Bubba Bolden, to, I don't know, compete for a training camp spot.
Like, of all the days, wouldn't you expect that he would sign on some, like, in, like, 3 weeks or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
why
hey,
is he signing 2 hours into the...
And, like, who accidentally called him? Yeah, I'll sign. Oh,
Oh, no.
it's
We were
Bubba Bull. Who?
we were trying to...
It's Bubba Bull. Yeah, we
Sounds
thought
like
it was
a-
Byron Murphy.
Yeah.
Michael here. Byron Murphy? Yeah.
Sounds like a
oh.
long relief guy for like a bad Twins team. Bubba Bolden. Here comes
A lefty.
Bubba Bolden. Yeah,
A
a
lefty,
lefty
right?
coming in for some mop-up duty. They're down 9-3 in the
You're not
fourth
wrong.
inning.
It's a great
Here he
sports
comes,
fan.
Bubba Bolden with a 4.82 earned
Yeah.
run average. He's got more walks than strikeouts
Yeah.
this year, working through some stuff.
Yeah,
Bubba
Whip
Bolden.
got under 2 in his last appearance.
And here's the pitch. There's a long drive.
Oh man! All right, well, Judd's got to go stake out the restaurant down there, the Kindred Hearth, whatever the.
I bet
heck
they
it's
got
called.
checks and balances now, though, right? Because it's their joint.
But can't anyone just go eat dinner?
I was there.
sure.
I was there on night 2 of the draft. Like when I would presume a bunch of stuff is happening, like either across the street or there's meetings maybe even happening in secret places of the hotel.
Yeah.
It could happen. I say we go, Judd. It's probably in the middle point between me and your house. Let's go stake
Yeah,
it
I was
out.
gonna say that's a long
Grab a
way
couple
to
beers.
drive
I put
now.
these dogs in the kennel.
You know, I'm sure my
Grab a
friends
couple
are there.
of beers?
Alex, Seifert, Ben Gessling. I'm sure they're all there right now, staking it out. I like how my head is sort of on there, but it's
Personally, and he does fine work with Photoshops. I think it might be AJ's best Photoshop. yet.
That's pretty
Yeah.
good.
Although I gotta say, it might be time, just spitballing here, for a new Judd mugshot.
Okay.
It might be time for a new mugshot. I'm going to talk to the bosses about that. Find out if they agree.
It looks like you've aged 14 years in 2 years, from what people have told me.
Yep.
So
Yep. I've heard 15 to 16. But I'll ask the bosses what they think.
we'll work on that behind the scenes. Dex, we had some technical stuff here. Are you good landing
I
this
think so.
plane, or do you want me to? Okay.
I think we're good landing the
guys land
plane.
the plane?
I'll let you know if
it's
we
quick trip.
don't have to. But yeah, we should be good.
So, all right. I think that might be the last emergency episode of the night. We'll see if something rises to the level. Otherwise, we'll see you again tomorrow. Purple Daily. Happy free agency season. Happy reckless speculation season. Just want the Vikings to